Hi, in this video we are going to see about negative clamper circuit. We have two types of clamper, that is positive clamper and a negative clamper. Positive clamper, we already know that, have told in another video that positive clamper will shift the input wave into its positive side. That is called the positive clamper circuit. And here we are going to see about the negative clamper circuit. If the circuit pushes the signal downwards, then the circuit is said to be a negative clamper. If the circuit pushes the signal downwards, then the circuit is said to be a negative clamper. When the signal is pushed downwards, the positive peak of the signal meets the zero level. When the signal is pushed downwards, the positive peak of the signal meets the zero level. Here in this circuit diagram I have shown the input wave is shifted downwards, where the peak reaches the positive peak reaches the zero level. This is called negative clamper circuit. In this circuit we have a capacitor, diode and a load resistor. The diode will act in a reverse bias condition. Next we are going to see about positive clamper with positive bias. We have two types of clamper, that is positive clamper and a negative clamper. In the positive clamper we have another type called positive clamper with positive bias. Sometimes an additional shift of DC level is needed. Okay, in this positive clamper with positive bias circuit, we are adding a extra power supply in addition to the input signal. Why? Because we need extra supply for enhancing the input signal and receiving a positive biasing clipper circuit. So we are going to use external power supply over here, which is used for shifting the clamper circuit a step ahead. Sometimes an additional shift of DC level is needed. In such cases, biased clampers are used. If positive biasing is applied to the clamper, then it is said to be a positive clamper with positive bias. A positive biasing is applied to the clamper. Positive biasing is that the supply will be of the anode will be of positive and diode cathode will be connected to the capacitor. When the input voltage is greater than the external supply voltage, then the capacitor and the diode will be in a forward bias condition. Okay, the forward bias condition, and it shifts the output waveform one step ahead. This is called positive clamper with positive bias. Here is the positive clamper with negative bias condition. Here we can see from the circuit diagram is that the supply voltage will be the polarities will be changed, plus to minus and minus to plus. So when the input voltage is lesser than the biasing voltage, the capacitor and the diode acts in the reverse bias condition. So we are going to gain an output where the negative peak will be in the zero position. Okay, it will be of completely shifting to the shifting upwards, where the negative point will be of negative peak will be of in zero position. This is called positive clamper with negative bias. Thank you. Now we have negative clamper with positive bias. First we have seen the positive clamper with positive and negative biases. Now we are going to see about negative clamper with positive bias. Here the changes, we will have a small change in the diode structure, diode connection. Okay, positive will be connected to the anode and the capacitor will be connected to the cathode. Negative clamper, here we are going to see about the input wave will be shifted downwards where the peak input peak will be of in the zero position. That VB, which is voltage bias, this is added externally which is used for when the input voltage is greater than the bias voltage. The circuit will act as a forward bias condition where the output will be shifted downwards. The input peak will be of in zero condition. Next we have a positive clamper with negative bias. Here we are going to shift the voltage into completely of negative position. Here the polarities will be changed. When the input voltage is lesser than the bias voltage, the circuit will be acting as a reverse bias condition and will have a negative bias voltage where the peak will be negative peak will be in the zero position. Thank you.